Welcome to the Halo Forge epidemic. This is Psychoduck, and today I have the privilege of announcing the third place winner to the ForgeHub 1v1 Smackdown contest. Now before I get into the map feature, I'd like to say a few words about the contest itself, so if you'd like to skip straight to the map, feel free to click the annotation down below. This contest was really exciting for the Forge community. Loads of talented forgers and designers submitted their maps, and there were over 80 total submissions. These submissions were all rigorously tested by the judging panel, which consists of Warholic, A Chunk, and Purely Fat, all of whom are talented forgers in their own right. These judges cross-checked their own personal favorites from their testing to create a really strong list of the top 3 maps. And these maps were based on several criteria, including how well they'll stand up in tournament conditions, how replayable they are, how much overarching metagame can be had on the maps, and how original the designs were, among others. These maps were very thoroughly tested, and some of the maps even saw a few minor tweaks from the judging panel in order to get the absolute most out of the designs. Over the next few days, I will be showing you the top 3 maps from this contest, and I'm sure you'll see some of the other great maps that were submitted on the channel in the future. So, let's dive right into the first map. Landing in the 3rd place slot and earning himself a $100 gift card for Gunnar glasses is Not Auburn with his map, Sycamore. Sycamore is a circular asim with 2 main vertical levels and a plethora of interesting movement options to choose from. On Sycamore, there are 3 main pickups to keep in mind. The first is the speed boost, which is located on the lower level. Given the map's circular layout, the speed boost can be used to cut off opponents who are trying to run away from you, or are just moving in the same direction as you. The speed boost also makes certain jumps easier and opens up a variety of movement options. However, you need to be careful because there is a large death pit on the map which is much easier to fall into while you're moving fast. The second main pickup is the Brute Shot, also located on the lower level. The Brute Shot is not only an effective offensive weapon, but it is also useful for pushing players into the death pit, which creates for some hilarious moments. The last main pickup is the Sniper Rifle. Of course, the Sniper is very effective at shooting down some of the longer lines of sight on the map. The Sniper is located up top and is highly contested. In addition, there are a few other pickups scattered throughout the map, including a Plasma Rifle and an Assault Rifle. The Assault Rifle in particular should not be underestimated, as it can be quite effective in Halo 2 Anniversary's sandbox. You'll find yourself engaging your opponent throughout the map, but perhaps the most exciting part of Sycamore is the area surrounding the Sniper Rifle. This area has 2 levels like most of the map. The death pit is located in the center of the lower level, while the upper level has a thin bridge connecting 2 platforms. The catch is that there are 2 teleporter senders on the lower level and 2 receivers on opposite sides of the upper level. There are also interesting jumping opportunities and lots of ways to juke your opponent out. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of this map I found, though, is the ability to predict your opponent's movement around the map. There are a lot of longer lines of sight on Sycamore, some of which you won't necessarily use to engage your opponent, but if you can see the back of your opponent's head as he rounds a corner, and you have some knowledge of the map's layout, you can predict exactly where that player will likely end up in a few seconds, and you can cut them off. This creates for some really exciting gameplay and really rewards players who are familiar with the layout, are familiar with how long it takes to traverse certain parts of the map. There are lots of interesting little ledges that you can use as well to get the jump on your opponent. The map is fairly open in some areas, but there are lots of interesting ways to escape the more open areas, interesting ways to juke your opponent out, interesting ways to dip into a hallway or a staircase off of the main platforms and duck out of fire. When you do this, you can find other opportunities to flank around and come up behind your opponent. One thing the judges gave a lot of thought to while looking at these maps was the idea of hunting versus searching for your opponent during a 1v1 map. Hunting implies that you are actively tracking your opponent and predicting where they are going to be, whereas searching merely implies that you are aimlessly running around the map attempting to stumble upon your opponent. This map really feeds into that hunting mentality. If you know your way around the map, there are lots of opportunities to track your opponent, to follow them around, to predict where they're going to be, rather than to just walk around and stumble upon them every now and again. Because of that, this map has a lot of replay value because there's a lot of incentive to learn the intricacies of the map in order to better hunt your opponent. And because of this, it will be very exciting for tournament play. In short, Sycamore is a deceivingly simple map which provides a surprising amount of depth upon multiple matches. There is a lot to learn on this map, and that combined with the vertical gameplay provides for some really exciting games. On behalf of the judging panel, congratulations to Not Auburn for creating this excellent map which was able to come in 3rd place out of the total of 80 submissions. Stay tuned tomorrow to see 2nd place. Until then, this has been PsychoDuck with the Halo Forge Epidemic. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.